Test Championship.
Yeah, lovely to be home, middle of winter, nice and cool. But yeah, nice to be home with the family. Bit of time around the house, and yeah, it's been great to, I suppose, build into a big, exciting couple of months coming up.
And was it nice to actually get home, get out of MIQ, and actually get a sense for what people thought of that win and what it meant to people?
Yeah, it was unique, I suppose, coming back home and then getting pushed into a room for a couple of weeks. Nice to catch up on the jet lag and refresh in a way a little bit, but coming out of ISO, it was yeah, kind of unexpected. A lot of really positive stuff around our campaign. Yeah, a lot of kids, obviously, a lot of late nights back home supporting us, and it was just brilliant. Obviously, nice to do the job in that final, and to see the mates travel around the country. There was obviously a bit of following, so pretty cool.
And now you mentioned you obviously had that really nice whānau time, but now you're kind of building into actually playing cricket again. Just running through your next couple of months, what does that preparation look like for you?
Yeah, busy end to the year, and then pushing into the New Zealand summer, which everyone's looking forward to. But the remainder of the IPL comes up, which I've chosen to be a part of, and then a big World Cup campaign with the T20 World Cup, which is in the UAE, and then hopefully a tour of India later in the year. But a lot of cricket. I think there'll be a few new faces, a few changes in personnel, and it could be close towards a 3 or 4 month time away. So. Not easy, but no trip's been easy so far, but it's obviously pretty cool to still get the chance to tour and do the game that we love and get to chuck on that black cap.
And for you personally, you mentioned the IPL first off, obviously you tasted success in that tournament last year, you're away in those conditions. For you personally, your role in those conditions, how do you find adapting to playing cricket in the UAE?
Yeah, I think you can never master it, that's for sure. I've been there a handful of times, conditions change every single time, so even through the IPL that was there a couple of years ago, the start of it was in 47 degrees, and then by the end of it, it probably dropped to nearly 20 degrees, and the games were probably played on more used wickets, but they had a bit more dew on the wicket. So you don't know what you're going to get. It's going to be exciting. A lot of teams going there, a lot of cricket. So it's going to be one of those cliches, but take it as it comes, and probably don't try to win the tournament in the first week. So a lot of hard work to be done.
Certainly, one of the things you hear from a few of the bowlers is about how you learn off each other. When you go to a tournament like the IPL, you play for a couple of different teams, you play with some other top-level international cricketers as well as your teammates at all those teams. How do you find that in terms of a learning experience going to the IPL?
I think there's theories with everything involved, but yeah, the best part about that IPL is to get the chance to play with different players, change coaches in a way, learn from players that have grown up in certain parts of the world. And yeah, I personally find the best remedy is trying to do it the way you do it. Definitely learn and go in with an open mind, but there's no point me trying to bowl like Jasprit Bumrah, for instance. So yeah, it's definitely a format that is best challenged or best taken on as a group. There are certain players that stand up and play match-winning roles, but I think the strength of the side is that we work together, and the bowling unit takes pride in that 20 overs that we have take responsibility for. So yeah, there'll be a lot of planning, and it's up to us to execute that.
And just a couple on the World T20. We look back to the last one in the subcontinent in 2016. It was, as you say, a lot of different roles for different players and adapting. How do you see the challenges being for this edition?
Feels a long time ago when you say 2016, first of all, but yeah, I played a very little role in that campaign. I was on the hydration station, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who's picked first of all. But yeah, like I touched on before, the game plan that we go in there with is literally going to be determined on what conditions we face. So hey, we've got some exciting T20 players in our group, some guys that are very experienced, and yeah, it's going to be great for them to stand up and hopefully work towards lifting another trophy twice in a year. It would be pretty cool.
And you just touched on it briefly before, but personally, the pride for you in terms of going to an ICC tournament, representing New Zealand, wearing the black cap, what are playing in those tournaments mean to you?
Yeah, it's great. There's a lot of world stage events, I suppose, at the moment in the game of cricket, but everyone is equally as important, in my opinion. It's a great opportunity. There's another World Cup in a couple of years' time. Yeah, it's just crazy, but in the current climate of the world, to get these opportunities to go there, very, very lucky. So hopefully we can put on a good show.